Amazon account is up and running now. We are selling our formula officially. It's amazing stuff from Europe.
Made in Germany. Sold in America.
Highest standards there are. In America, the standards haven't been updated since 1980. It's super weird, like older than me. In Europe, they update safety standards basically every year. This formula is top notch, great for the stomach, great for constipation. This is a great product. If you happen to want to purchase it and join us on our journey, then grab the link in the description. If you do and leave a review for us, send me a screenshot at vinandsori@gmail.com of your review after you have received the product. We will put your name in a hat. Song reviews are going to come out by some of the people that have left reviews. Don't forget to send us a screenshot of your review once you get the product. Now a word from our mascot dressed as a pirate, Fuji.
It's a steal of a deal.
Justice delivers its death in our Christmas stream tonight from Negative Vibes.
Dwayne says, I thought all the songs tonight were Christmas songs. Did I miss the stream title? No! Justice Delivers Its Death is a Christmas song, dear listener.
Yeah, it starts out with silver and gold. This song, recorded in 2010, is an absolutely scathing critique to the Johnny Marks Carol Silver and Gold. Featured in the 1964 claymation film Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh.
What's it? The Johnny what?
Johnny Marks Carol. Johnny Marks, that's his name, Johnny Marks. Carol, Silver and Gold. Oh, I know exactly. This is the one the snowman would sing on Rudolph.
What? Well, how would it go?
Silver and gold.
Silver and gold, silver and gold. Everyone wishes for silver and gold. How do you measure its worth? Just by the pleasure it gives here on earth.
Well, that's how they sung it on the other one. At least that's how I see it.
So, it means so much when I see silver and gold decorations on every Christmas tree. All right, so this is going to be like a scathing critique of that song.
Did you ever see
listener.
that? The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Claymation? The fact that it's taking you so... Do you remember the ornaments that I was sad that they got broken? That's from that. Do you recognize them?
No. Sorry.
What a travesty.
Sorry. We continue. Here we go. What's the name of the song again? Justice Delivers Its Death. Sufjan Stevens. Let's do it.
Wasting their time, storing up treasure in vain, trusting the pleasure it gives here on earth. Oh, I see the end. Oh, I see the end. Everyone's waiting for death. How do you measure its worth? Justice delivers its gift here on earth. Silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold.
I never knew what that song was about because that snowman would start singing it. We usually would try to skip it because it seemed a little boring.
Well, this is not a cover, it's a critique.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
He's critiquing it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it seemed like it was more the opposite message when we used to hear it, but...
Yeah, the original song was celebrating silver and gold, and I want to see silver and gold on every Christmas tree, but this is saying...
Yeah.
This is saying, I mean, this is the screed against materialism, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wishes for it. How do you measure its worth? Just by the pleasure it gives here on earth. Yeah, I mean...
What?
The materialism thing was a thing for me. Like, I honestly, I didn't start giving out presents on Christmas really until you. Like, that was just a battle. I was like, you know what? You know, we're a blended family. There's a lot of chaos happening right now. It's not a fight that I want to have, but I'm not really a fan of the material, the gift giving on Christmas at all. I mean, I talked about it in the previous, you know, the previous song where I said, you know, how are you getting presents on Jesus's birthday? And for me, it's like, well, isn't like the gift, isn't Jesus the gift? Isn't that enough? Like, what? We need more things. And then I'm like, yeah, like, and I get it. Read the Christmas story before. I don't know. I'm just, to me, it's like, I don't know. Well, I do know. I have an opinion. It's just there's certain things I'm going to fight about. There's certain things I'm not going to fight about.
I think that when you see the negative side of, you know, like, because there is, like, you know, sometimes you'll see the kids get, like, well, that's it, or, you know what I mean, like, different stuff like that. I'm talking kids in general, not just ours, but even myself as a child and friends of mine or whatever. So I think that there's an excitement in it, and it can be distracting from the actual reason that we're doing it. At the same time, like, the kids enjoy getting gifts, but they also have a lot of fun buying gifts for each other and giving, and being able to, and having that opportunity for giving and feeling like God the Father.
Yeah.
You just totally disagree. You just think it's all negative in your mind, or it's just not.
Well, what do our kids want that they don't have? That's number one. Like, as far as things that we get them for Christmas presents, I mean, another iPad, another iPhone, another, like, our kids have, like, they're, you know, just for me, it's like, the best Christmases I've had, the best Christmas I remember was the one we had in the homeless shelter. There was also one in Florida, and then the ones that we had downtown where we were doing that. Those were the best Christmases to me, when we were like giving to people, and these were homeless people downtown. So we, you know, they were getting toiletry. We did get beers, and we were able to get the kids like some really cool stuff. We should have partnered.
We should have beers.
We should have partnered. Bears, yeah. We should have partnered with what do you call that? Toys for Tots or whatever.
Yeah, we should have.
But even then, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
to me, it's like, you know, he's saying like everybody's wasting their time storing up treasure in vain, trusting in the pleasure it gives here on earth. And it's like, here's my thing. This is what I know to be true. I believe our kids would be disappointed if they didn't get any presents whatsoever. I do not think they would be disappointed. I don't think they would look back 6 months from now and be disappointed if we never mentioned Christ. That's my problem. So it's like, we can read that I don't even like reading the Christmas story before opening the present. I think it's almost blasphemous to me. Like, hey Jesus, we're celebrating your day. We're really not. Let me just read this to like give you a nod. Then we're gonna get into what we're really about. Like, that to me is just, you know.
But would you switch off, like obviously it's heavy on Christmas traditions in the traditional sense of America is what I know. But if you were gonna, let's say we said, all right, you know what, let's stop doing presents, let's see if there's like another, you know, to teach them those other things. Is there other traditions that could really emphasize, like, so it's not like, okay, now Christmas is just a regular day. Like, it is a very special day. We're gonna celebrate in different, like,
Well, it's
I
not
feel
a
like
special
you
day
could
to
come
me.
out with, what,
It's not a special day to me.
okay, well, I'm not
You see what I'm saying?
throwing the whole thing out.
No, I'm not saying we're gonna throw the day. I'm just saying like the way that we're doing Christmas like is not special to me. Like what we did for those people, and again, a lot of this is probably due to my experience. Like I experienced, and in my view, an amazing Christmas in that synagogue at the homeless shelter because, you know, people that didn't know us took time out of their day. They even brought, you know, they even brought one of those kids over to play with me because, you know, my little brother was too little and my older brother was out with his, you know, whatever. And so some of the Jewish families brought the kid to like run around and they cleared all the chairs in the synagogue. It was, I mean, it's Christmas. It's not their holiday. But, you know, the Torah says to love your neighbor, do all this good shit. So we were in trouble. It was Christmas. And all the other that's the other thing. All the other homeless families had places to go to because they were local. We were coming from Florida. We had nobody. So they saw us there by ourselves. And so not only did we get the gifts, but they made sure to bring a boy over that was kind of my age.
That's cute.
And they had him run around with me in their place, in their synagogue for 2 hours.
That's
so cool. Like that left an indelible mark on me. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that people would do that there's people in the world that would do that for you. So when we were down in downtown, I'm like, yo, I saw a bunch of little kids out, and you know, I pulled H aside because she had organized that, and I said, this gonna stay with these kids, bro. Trust me. Like she did, and I hadn't even told her that story, but I'm like, this is gonna stay with these kids. So for me, like you know, I am happy to see everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna be a downer about it, but like to me, at the end of the day, it's ultimately about materialism in America. That's what it is. Yeah. I mean, that's just the long and the short of it. Even in Christian families, like I said, if we went through this Christmas and I never mentioned Jesus, but they got all their presents, it would be a successful Christmas present. You know, so we have to deal with the implications of what that means as Christian parents, because whatever, you know, that's getting passed on to them and all the rest of it. So, you know, but I'm like, you know, Christmas is not in the Bible. So it's not like some biblical command. It's a thing that we made up. So I don't think that Jesus is up there upset. Like that's probably not the day he was born anyway. So, you know, to me, it feels like a missed opportunity, you know, and I was like watching somebody else on Facebook. There was somebody else on Facebook and they were like, yo, like, what are you even supposed to get your kids for Christmas when you get them everything they want anyway? I was like, yeah, that's pretty insightful. Cause I'm looking at our kids. I'm like, what do they want? Like, what thing under the Christmas tree could we give them that they wouldn't get in a month or two anyway? Like our kids randomly get iPads, all types of shit. And on top of that, like they're generating revenue. Like we're paying them pretty decently. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but it's still, we got to have the presents. Like, so I don't know. Like, but like I said, like I don't think it's like the end of the world. I don't think it's like horrible in the sense of like God's going to destroy America because we're so materialistic. But for me, I think when it really comes down to it, Christmas is really about materialism. It's about getting stuff. It's about the excitement of getting stuff. And definitely it is family get-togethers and all that too. Like I gotta, you know, I'm gonna recognize that. I'm just saying, like, when the look back happens, you're talking about the gifts and the because like if there's literally millions of Christian families in America where the Christmas would be ruined if there were no gifts. You could have the family, you could have the dinner, you could have the fellowship, you could have the Jesus, but if there are no gifts, that Christmas is gonna be looked upon as a failure. Mm-hmm. So that tells me it's unavoidable as you know, Negative Vibes is saying, you can't escape the American commercial phenomenon, and you can't, because one of the things that we're the best at, you know, we're the best at war. I think that, you know, I've studied a little bit about warfare, and I would say we're the best at war, especially implementations of war. But we're also the best marketers the world has ever seen, ever. So, I mean, Wall Street, I mean, literally is it's just started out as a market. There's no other nation ever that's done something like emphasize selling to the degree that Americans do. So you just have to understand, like, this is where you are, and, you know, we're all shaped by our culture. But there is, like, he says, everyone's waiting for death. And then he says, justice delivers its gift here on earth. And the name of the song is Justice Delivers Death. So the gift that justice delivers us is which is interesting, because we were talking about the underprivileged, homeless, all that other stuff. And so there is a sense in which, how can we be just people when we're spending all this money on material and we know there's people outside? And it's like, well, we're waiting for death. And so if you have a nihilist, here's the thing, like, this is going to be very provocative. If I was an atheist, the way that Americans do Christmas would make all the sense in the world to me. We're all going to die. We have a very, very short period here on this planet. Have as much fun as you possibly can. Enjoy life as much as you possibly can. And yeah, there's people outside and they got a tough break from the, you know, natural selection or whatever. And I feel bad for them because I'm a good, empathetic person. But we're all going to die anyway, so let's have as much fun as we possibly can. That makes complete sense to me. And I would be all, you know, like, that makes a lot of sense to me. The religious angle on top of Christmas, the way Americans do it, makes no sense to me whatsoever. But if I was an atheist, the way that Christians do Christmas makes a lot of sense to me. Like, do a little nod to the religious ancestry that you have, and then get to the real thing. And the real thing is, let's hang out, let's have fun, let's eat, and let's accumulate more material to distract us from the fact that we're all going to die, which is kind of the theory. That makes so much sense to me. And I'm not, like I said, man, like, I'm not. That's why I'm feeling this dude so much, is because, like, I've never seen anybody say the things that he said. That's how I felt, you know, for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, there's a lot of things that come out of that, like Black Friday, like, you know, the irony of Thanksgiving. Like, we had Thanksgiving, and then the food hasn't even digested in your stomach, and you're out in Walmart trampling people to death for Tickle Me Elmo. And I'm like, these are Christians doing this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I got, like, my Muslim friends, and like, what the hell? Like, that are not familiar with this whole ritual. Like, they're like, what are y'all do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. And you know, it was cool because, you know, our church turned that into something really cool. Like, people were hanging out in Walmart. There's big long lines in the dead of winter, and, like, those guys were handing out hot chocolate to people. Like, we made gallons and gallons of hot chocolate, gave hot chocolate to people, warmed them up a little bit, sang some Christmas carols. People would, you know, shoot a little message out there to help people, remind people of, you know, it's like, what did you get for Christmas 2 years ago? Like, nobody even knows. Like, nobody even remembers what they got for Christmas 2 years ago. But if they got nothing, they would remember that. So I'm like, damn, bro, like, this shit is... Perkinaw said, I mean, that's exactly what happened. The way Americans do Christmas is largely a result of secularization. Has very little to do with traditional Western Christian celebration of Christmas. Yeah. And for me, it's always been like, yo, we are selling ourselves short. It's not like, oh, materialism is bad and I am this like Gandhi or something. I'm not Gandhi. Like, I want, like, the most happiness possible. My theory is just that the way that we do Christmas does not maximize the happiness we could have.
I think you're right.
That's all I'm saying. So
I'd like to hear more of what you like to see on Christmas.
Hey, Chris Austin in the house, Sevenfold, Ghost, Behemoth, all those big bands. Yeah, so, like, you know, it's interesting that he talks about justice, you know, comes to deliver its death. Like, that's a very interesting concept. Like, are we celebrating Christmas in a just fashion? Like, that's a... But, you know, like, I always hesitate to talk about this stuff because there's that, in the letter to the seven church, I think it was Thyatira, where, he's saying, you guys need to do this, you need to stop doing that. And then he says, as for the other stuff, I'm not going to, I don't want to lay any more, I don't want to lay any more burden on you. Just hold on to what you have and you'll be okay. So there's that mind of God where he's like, this could be better, but I'm not going to go crazy on people because God is gracious. He knows that we're dust. So I'm sure God knows that we're hanging out in the Western world. We're inundated with modern secular humanism and when that interfaces with capitalism and things like that, you end up with what we call Christmas. Like, I don't think he's up there going, Jesus is getting worshipped 24/7 all over the world and with the angels. Like, he's not, I just think that we're missing out on and it's not just Christians, like I said, like, negative, he's saying the exact same thing where he says the invocation, Lord, come with fire. Everybody's wasting their time. Hits me really hard. Agree. Like, there's that, like, you're looking around and you're seeing all this stuff and everybody's kind of like smiling and shit and not realizing, like, and then the other thing is, like, I talked about this with Dorian, like, all the comfort of the Western world is being bought by suffering somewhere else.
Oh my gosh.
You got diamonds over there, came from Africa. You got, this, a lot of the chocolate, a lot of the Nestle chocolate farms of, like, 8-year-old kids working 12-hour days, all types of shit to get us chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much shit that, Western comfort is being purchased on,
oh my gosh,
the misery of other people. And so it's like, the irony is like, oh, Christmas, like, I remember when I was working at the Walmart distribution center, anytime it was Christmas, the chocolate would be, like, triplicated, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay, so more misery has to come to generate this celebration for us on the other side of the world. Like, and again, like, this happens 365 days out of the year. That's one of the reasons, like, well, why is Christmas different? Like, but it's like, there's just so many things where, as Americans, we are so comfortable. We're at a time now where we are aware of more human suffering than has ever been, like, even possible. And we don't do anything about it for 364 days in the year. And then on Christmas, like, we want to be happy and full of cheer. And I don't know. It's just like, it's unjust. It's an unjust system. And it's one of those things where it's like, if they read about us 100 years from now, people be like, what are these people doing? Like, and that group in 100 years are going to have their own issues, but, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And that's what it talks about, like, come with fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, burn all the shit down, and all the people that were talking shit about, oh, you love Jesus, blah, 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 Christ over everything. Okay, so when everything is rebel around you, is Christ going to be everything? You going to say that's a Merry Christmas because your house burned down, but Christ is everything to you? Like, come on, bro. Like, so, I don't know. It's a lot of people would accuse this guy of being a downer, but I don't know. I think it's looking at the holidays from a heavenly perspective. And, this one was a little bit more meta, but the other ones were really personal as well. Like, I just thought the mix that Negative Vibes came up with, like, you had two, like, classic ones, like classic Christmas songs, hymns, and then you had the two or three in the middle were very personal, and then this one is, like, meta, like, think about the world, think about, how does the theology interface with so... what is my what is one of my favorite verses? One of the verses that Jesus says to me a lot is Psalm 32:9. Do not be like the horse or the mule, which have no understanding, but must be controlled by bit and bridle, or they will not come to you. Or in the English, it says, in the ESV, it says, they will not stay near you. And so that's God saying, man, how about you just, like, come and listen to me. Like, I don't want this relationship where you have to be controlled. You know what I'm saying? So Chris, that's one of my favorite verses, Psalm 32:9. He says that to me a lot because I'm a very, 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 very stubborn individual. Oh, and the verse before that too, subhanAllah. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. I love that. I love that. And yeah, negative vibes. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Test all things, hold to that which is good. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like that's a beautiful thing. So anyway, guys, have a Merry Christmas, okay? Don't let him influence you.
I think that this stream it caused a lot of thought, and I don't know, it just seemed right. I really liked it. I liked that the vibe that it gave, and the songs. I don't know. I like the song selections.
The song selections were really good, and I don't know like if he did that on purpose, but just the structure of the whole day.
Yeah. Well done.
Was really, really, really cool. Really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm just surprised. I didn't know that anybody wrote Christmas music like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Like, I'd love to see some more of this guy's catalog. So yeah, man, I really appreciate it. This one is a 10 for me. It's a 10 for me because
9.8.
I just this is like exactly my thought process. The last two songs were exactly my thought processes and struggles with Christmas. So
I think we should talk about it more too offline.
He did a really good job. There you are, dear listener. Whatever your tradition is, try to have a happy holiday. Love your neighbor, take care of each other, all that jazz.
Thanks for hanging out.
Try to find, just try to make it significant for yourself. I don't have any right to tell you how to celebrate Christmas. So do your best is what I'll say. There you are, dear listener. Shout out to Negative Vibes. That was really good, my guy.
We have another stream tomorrow night at 10 p.m.
Another stream for you bitches. We just coming at you. We just